Okay, we're going to continue on in our Father's Word. This is Leviticus 11, God's food laws. Leviticus 11, verse 10. And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers and of all the moving in the water and of any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you. So all shellfish is unclean food. Fish with scales are clean food. Tuna is one of my favorite. And I love canned salmon made into croquettes. You take a little bit of Ritz crackers or saltine crackers and you crumble them up and you mix with the canned salmon and some onion and some garlic and some bell pepper and you make a patty and you put a piece of cheese on top of it and put it on a hamburger bun and you wrap it in aluminum foil and you put it in the oven for a few minutes, but you better watch that cheese. It'll get on the top of your lip and make you hurt yourself when it's hot. So you got to let it cool off a little bit before you eat these salmon croquettes. My mother used to make those things, and they were delicious. And they shall be even an abomination unto you. Ye shall not eat of their flesh, but ye shall have their carcasses in abomination. Whatsoever had no fins nor scales in the waters, that shall be an abomination unto you. Catfish is unclean food. They don't have scales. They got fins, but they don't have scales. And these are they which ye have in the abomination among the fowls. They shall not be eaten. They are an abomination. The eagle, the ostrich, and the osprey, and the vulture, and the kite after his kind, every raven of his kind. These are all scavengers. Timothy 4:3, eat the food God made to be received. God made clean food to be received or eaten, and God made scavengers to clean up the earth. And the owl and the nighthawk and the cockcrow, and the hawk after his kind, and the little owl, and the cormorant, and the great owl, and the swan and the pelican and the gyre eagle, and the stork and the heron after her kind, and the lapwing and the bat. All fowls that creep going upon all four shall be an abomination unto you. Yet these may ye eat of every flying creeping thing that goeth upon all four, which have legs above their feet, to leap withal into the earth. Even these of them ye may eat, the locust after his kind, and the bald locust after his kind, and the beetle after his kind, and the grasshopper after his kind. But all other flying creeping things which have 4 feet shall be an abomination unto you. I remember pulling into Hong Kong the first time, and they had chocolate covered grasshoppers over there. They're kind of crunchy, but they taste real good. And grasshoppers clean food. And for these ye shall be unclean. Whosoever toucheth the carcass of them shall be unclean until the evening. And whosoever beareth aught of the carcass of them shall wash his clothes and be unclean until the eve. The carcasses of every beast which divideth the hoof is not cloven-footed, nor cheweth the cud, are unclean unto you. Every one that toucheth them shall be unclean. And whatsoever goeth upon his paws among all manners of beasts that go on all four, these are unclean unto you. Whoso toucheth their carcass shall be unclean until the evening. Now remember, all you people with red skin, A blood, you got the A blood. You can't digest red meat. People over in India, they worship a cow. They don't eat the cow, but they drink the milk. The milk is clean for the A-blooded people. But the people with the O blood, the black folk of Africa and the white cavemen of Europe, can't deal with that calcium, baby. You get these kidney stones, little sand spurs. You get to pee out a sand spur. Now you talk about something painful. Now those kidney stones are painful things to have. And here in North Florida, our water comes underground from Tennessee and Georgia. It goes underground through those limestone caverns, and limestone is full of calcium. So you got to use a good water filter to clean your water up. Otherwise, you'll be drinking calcium water. And our springs, a lot of them are blue. The reason they're blue is because of calcium in the water. The green ones are the sulfur springs, and the yellow looking ones are mineral springs. And he that beareth the carcass of them shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the eve. They are unclean unto you. These also shall be unclean unto you among the creeping things that creepeth upon the earth, the weasel and the mouse, and the tortoise after his kind, and the ferret and the chameleon, and the lizard and the snail, and the mole. These are unclean to you among all that creep. Whosoever doth touch them when they are be dead shall be unclean until the eve. And upon whatsoever any of them they are dead doth fall, it shall be unclean, whether it be a vessel of wood or a raiment, or a skin or a sack, whatsoever vessel be it, whereupon any work is done, it must be put into water, and it shall be unclean until the eve, so it shall be cleansed. And every earthen vessel, whereinto any of them falleth, whatsoever is in it shall be unclean, and ye shall break it. Of all meat which may be eaten, that on which such water cometh shall be unclean. And all drink that may be drunk in every such vessel shall be unclean. And everything whereupon any part of that carcass falleth shall be unclean, whether it be oven or ranges for pots, they shall be broken down, for they are unclean, and shall be unclean unto you. Nevertheless, a fountain or a pit, when there is plenty of water, shall be clean. But that which touches their carcass shall be unclean. And if any part of their carcass fall upon any sowing seed, which is to be sown, it shall be clean. But if any water be put upon the seed, or on any part of their carcass fall thereon, it shall be unclean unto you. And if any beast of which you may eat die, he that toucheth the carcass thereof shall be unclean until the eve. And he that eateth of the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until the eve. He also that beareth the carcass of it shall wash his clothes, and be unclean until that evening. And every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth shall be an abomination. It shall not be eaten. Whatsoever goeth upon the belly, and whatsoever goeth upon all four, or whatsoever hath more feet among all creeping things that creep upon the earth, them ye shall not eat, for they are an abomination. Ye shall not make yourselves abominable with any creeping thing that creepeth, neither shall ye make yourself unclean with them, that ye should be defiled thereby. For I am the Lord your God. Ye shall therefore sanctify yourselves, and ye shall be holy. For I am holy, neither shall ye defile yourself with any manner of creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. For I am the Lord that bringeth you up out of the land of Egypt to be your God. Ye shall therefore be holy, for I am holy. This is the law of the beast, and of the fowl, and of every living creature that moveth in the waters, and of every creature that creepeth upon the earth, to make a difference between the unclean and the clean, and between the beast that may be eaten and the beast that may not be eaten. Now this is Leviticus chapter 12. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If a woman have conceived seed